Welcome back. Here today to talk about the Kiwanis Club. Many people don't understand what the Kiwanis Club does, what it raises its monies for, or where those monies go. Here today with Wayland Fulford, currently the president of the Chipley Kiwanis Club. In this segment, we're going to talk about the Kiwanis Club, specifically the Chipley Kiwanis Club, and we're going to talk about where those monies go once they're raised and all the good works that the Chipley Kiwanis Club does. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Real Florida Magazine.
Welcome back. As mentioned, our guest today is Wayland Fulford, a friend of mine and currently the president of the Chipley Kiwanis Club. Thanks for taking the time today. I know that we're looking at spring break straight in the face right now, so things are getting a little bit crazy. I know you're always busy, but I called you kind of at the last minute to do this segment, so thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Kiwanis in general, Kiwanis International, what Kiwanis does, what they raise their monies for, where those monies go. People hear about Kiwanis. Here in Chipley, many times they hear about the pancake suppers that we do here, but they don't really know much about it other than the fact that they go, they spend $5, it's a good meal, they figure the money goes to a good place, but really don't have more knowledge than that. You're currently the president. In the Kiwanis Club, that's kind of a progression. Generally, they try to pick somebody who's relatively new to that club. No better way than the presidency to get your feet wet and find out and be responsible for all that the Chipley Kiwanis does. I know that you came to Chipley having been a Kiwanian elsewhere. Talk a little bit about your history with the Kiwanis Club.
Paul, I first joined the Kiwanis Club over in Bonifay. It was a great group of guys. Was in that club a couple of years and went from there to Panama City, where I was on the Panama City Beach Kiwanis Club. Had the role of president of that club before relocating back to Chipley.
And you've been in Chipley how long now?
Going on 6 years.
Wow, time flies.
It absolutely does.
How many years total is that in Kiwanis?
I believe I'm at 13 years.
The Kiwanis Club, our youngest son asked me after I had just joined the Kiwanis myself if that was the club that made you wear the hat with the funny ears.
Yeah, hat.
Kind of like the Flintstones with the lodge he belongs to. The Kiwanis actually has a long and storied history, many years old. Originally came from the Midwest, Michigan, I believe, the Detroit area was where it has its roots. But fundamentally, the Kiwanians support children and the activities that those children have, some health aspects, but everything revolving in large part, with children. Here, as president of the Kiwanis Club, you've been responsible and were the chairperson for recently the golf tournament. We do pancake suppers and used to be pancake breakfasts. We sponsor lots of organizations. Talk a little bit about what the Chipley Kiwanis Club does in broad strokes.
Well, basically we try to meet every Tuesday here at the Technical College campus from 12 to 1. We have meetings that come in, presenters, we listen to things going on in our community. From that we do our fundraisers, and our goal is to raise funds in our community to give back to the children of our community. We sponsor some sports events, school events. We've given several scholarships back to children in our community that's given them the opportunity to go to college.
Now, Chipley Kiwanis actually embraced the Take Stock in Children effort as well, and even though the Take Stock organization was separate from the Kiwanis Club, many Kiwanians served on that board and were the founding members of the local Take Stock organization, and that organization, through matching funds, gave lots of thousands of dollars to scholarships.
I believe they're close to $1 million at this moment.
Wow.
But we're fortunate too. Our members are very passionate about our community and kids, and a lot of our members, you'll see them not just at our meeting, but in other areas of our community, giving back, and they really help our community move forward.
The Kiwanis, probably like any other fraternal organization, you get involved in because you're invited or you have a friend that goes. In the case of our Kiwanis Club, or most Kiwanis clubs, dues are $40 a month, and that includes lunch every Tuesday. You're going to spend $10 for lunch anyway, so if the only thing you get out of Kiwanis is a good lunch, and in our case, we're fortunate. Many Kiwanis clubs meet in a steakhouse somewhere, they'll rent a room somewhere. We get to enjoy the culinary program right here on the campus where we find ourselves today of the Florida Panhandle Technical College. They cook for us every week. it's usually extremely good food.
It's always a good meal. If nothing else, the meal makes it worth it.
Yeah, and they're experimenting, so they're not just meat and potatoes. They'll do all kinds of things because they're teaching their students. I kind of feel by being a Kiwanian, paying my dues, which gets me that meal, I'm also supporting the culinary program.
It's a great opportunity for them to have that experience, and then our members come here, we get a great meal. It's a great opportunity. It's a good meeting room. I don't think we would change that anyway if we could.
Yeah, and we have to say a shout out, a thank you to Martha Compton, currently the director of Florida Panhandle Technical College, who allows us the use of that room every Tuesday. That is got some value right there. The other part of it is that we always have a program.
We always have a program. It's always a local community program. It affects our community, our kids, our families. The value of the programs is absolutely amazing.
I really think that in order to engage and to expect our members and potential members to attend regularly, there not only has to be a good meal and good networking, but there also has to be a good program. And I say those three things because I think those are the three things that we do offer, obviously outside the entire philosophy of the group. You know you can come and have a good lunch. You know you can come and network with some of the movers and shakers in our community. Many school board members, past school board members and superintendents, law enforcement, business owners, politicians. We have a really good cross-section of Washington County attend.
It's a good diverse of our community there, and it represents ourselves well.
So you got the meal, you got the networking, and then the program. You get to learn something. And my criteria for a program is to make sure that everybody walks away with a little bit more knowledge than what they arrived with. Even if it's something that you've heard about several times in other programs, if you try to encourage the program, and many times I'll work with the program, and when they ask me what should I talk about, I'll say, well, your predecessor last 3 visits talked about this. What about this? And they usually will take my lead. To me, the criteria after the fact of having had a good program is that nobody's on their cell phone or texting. Everybody's paying attention. More importantly, they ask questions. We always leave time for that Q&A. How do you feel about what I just said? Do you feel that indeed the programs are an integral part of that?
Oh, the programs are probably one of the most important parts of our club. It's a great opportunity for the different organizations in our community to come and share with us what they're doing. And without that time, we may not know what else is going on in our community. The question and answers, it's a good opportunity for our club to hit some topics that may not have gotten answered or go into more detail. But the presentations we have is absolutely amazing.
This is me personally, but I would think that the knowledge you come away with, the networking that you're able to take advantage of if you want to, along with the meal, outdistances the valuation of the $10, and certainly you're getting more value than what you're paying for. Long term, Chipley Kiwanis, along with Kiwanis International in general, has done tremendous amount of work with children, for children. We embraced the iodine effort where we were the salt. We do a lot of things locally, scholarships. And the interesting thing is that most of what we do is consumed locally. So if somebody comes to our pancake supper, they know the proceeds, when we put it to good use locally, will be locally received. Those recipients, typically school children or other youngsters in the community, in our community, and that's really strong. There are several fundraisers that we do throughout the year, and many of them are heritage, have been around for a while. I mentioned the golf tournament. You chaired that last time. It was a banner event. It was a huge success.
We was very fortunate.
You asked me in the pre-show, how are we going to outdo that? Talk a little bit about that golf tournament and how it works.
Well, we had missed the last couple of years on the golf tournament, and we kicked it off this year, and we wanted it, we needed it to be more successful. The economy is still tight. The ability for people to write large checks and give back to an organization is tough. It's tough on our business owners and our community leaders. We was able to bring together a golf tournament. We had about 21 teams represented there. We had 41 or 42 hole sponsors. It was a really good effort. We had a lot of Kiwanian support on that. I got back and looking, and I believe close to 50% of our Kiwanians showed up or participated in some way. And for a club, anytime you get that much participation, it's absolutely amazing. But without those fundraisers, we couldn't do what we do.
And what was the net total, roughly?
Right at $7,500.
$7,500 as it plays into our budget. What is our total budget for the year?
We run right at $25,000.
7,000 represents just shy of 30%, a third of our budget. Goes a long way to helping us do those good things. This program included, try to let the community know about Kiwanis. We always have a recruitment effort of some sort going on. It's a dual-edged sword because the other side of it is that more and more people come to us to help fund their efforts.
Right. It's a shame when we're not able to fund something. But unfortunately, we get that. We get a funding issue where we just don't have the resources to meet needs in the community. And it's sad. It's not what we're there for. But I hope it takes the opportunity for our members and our community to work harder at our fundraisers and give more openly and enjoy that $5 pancake meal. It's a really good deal, not just for the pancakes, but what it does back to our community.
Many people are unaware of the fact that the Chipley Kiwanis Club was the founding organization, sponsoring organization for our local Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts many years ago. We still pay for the registration for their trailer each year, and we write a check every year to support both of those organizations. Just one of many. I think that Joe Johnson has put together a PowerPoint that we try to show at all of our events.
It's an amazing PowerPoint. When you sit back and look what we've done as a club for our community, and when I say we, that's not just our Kiwanis, but the members in our community that supported us has really been valuable.
And that's the important thing to remember. We're spending the community's money. When we do a golf tournament, when we have our nut sale or our fruit sale, when we do a pancake breakfast, we are executing the event, but it's the community that's
the community dollars,
for the,
and they entrust us when they participate in these events that we're going to be good representatives of their money and for their community.
This is a giving community. When we have sessions like this one with nonprofits such as Kiwanis, that's the thing that keeps coming to the forefront, is that this is a giving community. I remember sessions, lunches for Chipley Kiwanis. One in particular, young man had recently been burned out of his home. He was actually part of the culinary program. We were made aware of it. We allowed him to come in and speak. We passed the hat. Many times, if an event or an effort, even if can't be funded through our budgetary process, we'll still open it up and just let the membership contribute on their own personally.
We've done that many times, and we passed the hat, as you say. But basically, we ask members to donate, and it's amazing to see them, raise their hand with a $5 or $10 or $20 bill and reach that goal.
And challenge other members. Relay for Life, another organization with whom we've had a long relationship. We recently decided not to have a team, and in some cases people felt that was improper. I think it was you that pointed out that Relay for Life has a larger budget than or raises more at Relay for Life than our entire yearly budget. It doesn't mean that we're not involved. The interesting thing, and again this was pointed out by yourself and others, most of our members and most people who belong to a fraternal organization belong to other organizations.
Absolutely.
And they give, whether it's United Way or not. And explain a little bit about how that thought process went.
Well, as we looked at it, and the majority of our members have given through their work for the American Cancer Society. Are their employer, they are the employer. They're that business owner. They've reached in their pocket and give back that organization. We thought, this would be an opportunity for us to ask the board at a meeting to challenge to see what we could come up with. And if my memory serves me right, we more than doubled our goal just of people pulling cash out of their pocket and hitting that platter, and that was a good feeling.
We made more money than if we had officially endorsed a team.
Absolutely.
So it's not that we were not interested in supporting the very worthy cause of American Cancer Society through Relay for Life. It was simply that we have hard decisions to make in our budgetary process, and as you point out, we can't embrace everything. And to my way of thinking, and I'm going to let you speak on that, were we to give to everybody, the amount would be so insignificant that we couldn't help anybody to any great extent. I would much rather pick a handful of efforts and fund those to the extent where we're really doing some good.
You're right. In a perfect world, we could meet everybody's budgeting needs, and it would be great. We simply can't. The funds aren't there to do that. It's really prideful of me of our club when we reach into our pockets and we meet those obligations. But it's also a time for us to challenge our club and our community when we do these fundraisers, participate, even if it's buying that $5 pancake ticket and not showing up. We like that as well. But we have to have those funds to get there. And, it's us coming together as a group. And our community, I can't thank our community enough. When you walk into a business and you're there representing Chipley Kiwanis, and the owner says, well, you helped our daughter get a scholarship 5 years ago. You feel good about that, but you're there, they know you're there to help somebody else the same way that they've received that help. It's such a good feeling, and our community is so responsive.
What has been one of the single bigger challenges being president of the Kiwanis Club?
Time. The majority of our members, we all work, we all do something, and if we're doing something with Kiwanis, there's always something on our desk that needs to be done. There's always something waiting on us. And probably the challenge of trying to get everybody on board, or as many people on board to reach a task, so we can all put a little less time into it, but still double or triple our results. To use our assets of our club members to reach that common goal, but time, it is a challenge.
It's the interesting people, events, and businesses that make the real Florida what it is. So stick around and we'll be right back with more.